What's up, investments? This is Justin Smith here, and we're back with another episode. Today we're going to talk about why it's so important to start a small business and why you should consider it before going to your second job. I just want to give a quick shout out to this book by Sandy Botkins, former tax attorney for the IRS, and it's called Lower Your Taxes. And this is something that also influenced me to make this episode. So if you're looking for something like this, if you're looking to get into a second side income that doesn't have to do with another job, feel free to check out this book. There's no sponsorship with it. This is just something that has really helped me grow mentally and physically when it comes to starting and owning a business in 2022. For starters, I'd like to say I'm not a tax professional. I am in the financial service industry, but I'm not a tax professional. So right now in America, there are two types of taxes in this country. One is for the employees and one that is for small business owners. When it comes to tax benefits, they allow you to take deductions for employees from your 401k, your IRA, your home property tax, and even charities. Now, when it comes to being a business owner, whether it's part-time or full-time, you still get the same deductions as an employee, but you also get deductions for your car, vacations, your house, food, even your spouse. I really don't want to get too deep into that, but let's just say some business owners are doing it right. Being a business owner allows you to set up a pension plan that outbeats any government plan, not even counting investment earnings. So now let's put this in perspective by running some numbers with it. Now let's say there's a woman named Luna who makes $20,000 a year, but after all the at-work expenses, she only brings home $1,000 at the end of that year. At the same time, with an at-home business, she would have netted that whole $20,000, which is almost an increase of 18 times her take-home pay as an employee. This goes to show you that having more than one job in a family does not grow your bank account as much as you would think because of the tax laws. So let's say Luna's husband is making $40,000 a year, which is about $3,400 a month, and Luna's not working. Luna then goes and finds a $20,000 a year administrative job. Luna and her husband makes this decision without taking into account she had to pay federal tax on her new income. Since it was a combined family tax bracket, she paid $4,845, which is also not deductible. She then had Social Security withheld from her paycheck at an annual rate of 7.65%. This led to an additional non-deductible amount of $1,530 taken from her. Not to mention, she travels 10 miles round trip every day, which is pretty conservative. However, her non-deductible commuting cost is $1,337 per 2018 stat rate. Luna stayed home because it was cheap when it came to childcare, but now that she goes to work, she pays for childcare, and it's about $6,250 a year. She also doesn't eat at home anymore, so let's just be conservative and say she pays about $7 per meal at work. This results in a non-deductible $1,750 a year. Now that Luna has to leave for work, she has to have nice clothing. So now you have to take into account that dry cleaning is required. So let's go ahead and subtract another non-deductible $1,200 a year. Now that Luna has this job, she doesn't feel like coming home to cook every night for her family. So now the family is resorting to more convenience-like food, which is unfortunately another non-deductible $2,000 a year. Now for all you math wizards out there, if you were to add up all those non-deductible expenses, you would see that Luna has left over $1,001 per year. Not to mention she has to commute to a boss that she might not even like. Now I see why it's beginning to make more and more sense of why people are considering making part-time or even full-time at-home businesses. There are nearly 50 million people working from home, meaning the number grew 20-fold in the last 10 years. The crazy part is the number is supposed to grow about 15% annually each year. And it's going to keep going. I believe this is probably going to be one of the greatest mass movements when it comes to US history. Now, if Luna made a part-time or even full-time at-home business, ain't no way she'd be spending as much money she did or she does at her job. Even if she did go out to eat, take trips, have the same car expenses she had before or anything, her home base or consulting business would allow many deductions. This concept is called redirecting expenses. With this at-home business, she can now deduct some expenses that she was already incurring anyways. More reasons to start an at-home business. We all remember the American dream. You worked for one employer, you saved your money, and you retired with dignity and security. Today, the young age and the middle age are realizing that having a job with the same company forever is an illusion. If you pick up your phone right now and hop on any social media app, you'll see that these big companies or any company, they're downsizing. This is resulting to couples working harder than ever or even running to second jobs just to make ends meet. Before making this episode, I was watching a show on Netflix called Juvenile Justice. This show was made in Korea. The first few episodes are about a couple of kids choking an 8-year-old to death. They decided to chop the body up, hide it, and then clean the blood up like nothing happened. The employee tax system is keeping parents away from their children and their homes. Overworking can also be a result in why kids go into public places with loaded guns and fire at innocent people. But that's a different story. Let me give you a few reasons why you should start a home-based business. For one, there's no commute. Number two, there's no boss. Number three, there's little, if any, chance of a lawsuit. Number four, there's much less overhead. According to Entrepreneur Magazine, about 50% of home-based business these days make about $50,000 a year. So you got 50-50. Also, Congress will subsidize you while your business is growing, meaning they will fund your business goals and dreams of even being an entrepreneur. Now, let's say your business produces a loss in the first year or so. You can use that loss against any other income you have, even your spouse's income. Let's crunch some numbers real quick. Let's say Manny has a $50,000 job with the government, and he also has a side business that actually lost $10,000 that year. In that case, he only pays taxes on $40,000 of that income. This goes to show that every American, whether if you have a full-time job and a part-time business on the side, and you use this strategy, you can save anywhere between $2,000, $10,000, or even more in taxes each year. What if all full-time employees and small business owners applied this message? The US will be reduced by a whopping $300 billion each year. Now, if that were to ever happen, be prepared for Congress to switch those laws up so quick it's not even funny. Now, keep in mind that I'm not telling you to start a business just to save on taxes. Tax savings should be the icing on the top of your business cake. My name is Justin Smith. This is the Investments YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and most definitely subscribe. We'll see you next episode. Peace.